I'm sorry. I might have come on a little strong with the dance invitation. I was imagining my younger days, prancing about without a care in the world. We may never be dance partners, but we have fellowship, and I wouldn't trade that for all the gold in the gate-counting house. Well, that's enough sentiment for one day. What did you need? The Blade of Frontiers at your calling.
Oakfather preserve you.
I met a peer of yours, the druid Jahira. Do you know her?
Only by reputation. She was present when we marched against Ketheric Thorm, but on the far end of the battle lines from where I fought. And in the chaos that ensued, well, our forces were scattered. I led some to safety, but never learned of her fate. I'm glad to hear she survived. Though in truth, I should not be surprised. She was always said to be formidable and cunning. I could have learned much from her, no doubt.
You're an archdruid. What could you possibly have left to learn from anyone?
No matter how long I live, I will always strive to remain a keen pupil. Only a fool would think he could drink in all knowledge until none is left. There is always more. Nature's tapestry is infinitely complex. I cannot help but wonder how she would have handled some of the challenges I faced as Archdruid. Defended the Grove, Korga, the Shadow Druids. At least now we can benefit from her presence, and perhaps work to a common goal.
You've spent all these years fighting the Shadow Curse. What happens once it's lifted?
Honestly, I never thought I'd make it that far. But the Absolute is a threat to all, and I promised I'd help you with your parasite. So, I'll remain with you. If you'll have me, that is.
Of course. I only wish you'd joined me earlier.
So do I. But one duty at a time.
How am I holding up in your estimations?
Given the circumstances, you're faring as well as can be expected, I suppose.
I feel like I haven't gotten to know you properly yet.
It's true, and I can't imagine I helped with that. Sometimes I let the task at hand consume me, and people think I'm obsessed. Trust me, the day I no longer have to talk about the Shadow Curse will be a happy one. What would you like to know?
Don't take this the wrong way, but you're quite large for an elf.
I am? Trust me, it's been said. You show more restraint than most in avoiding the subject until now.
Any idea on how that came about?
Who's to say? Perhaps there's a half-orc buried somewhere in my ancestry. Or perhaps not. Sometimes I think conventional wisdom is too narrow about what someone can or cannot be. Stranger things have most certainly happened.
How did you come to be a druid?
I had a friend when I was young, long ago. He played with me in the forests where I grew up. But eventually, I realized no one else had heard of him. It was Thaniel, of course. Nature was my very first friend. I get older, but he hasn't changed a day. I knew then that I had to be more than a companion to him. I had to be a protector.
Do you have people out there somewhere? Family? Friends? A lover, perhaps?
You're not a doppelganger, are you? Trying to study me to learn all my secrets so you can take my place? Save for me, my line perished a long time ago. They rest in High Forest now, near the shade of the grandfather tree. The Grove became my family, with Sylvanas as my teacher. And now I have you.
I'm sorry for your loss.
It was a long time ago. The wounds don't heal, but they become more bearable.
You didn't answer the part about lovers.
I'm 350 years old. Of course there have been lovers. Just because I love nature doesn't mean I'm betrothed to it. Though sometimes nature needs reminding.
Don't leave me hanging. Is there someone in your life right now?
Right now, I bed down alone, I'm afraid. Perhaps once I talk less of curses and parasites, my fortunes will improve.
Hold on. Nature needs reminding of what exactly?
Well, I didn't pick this scar up in battle. I was in wild shape. Only I forgot it was the season when bears are particularly social. A she-bear claimed me as her own and did not appreciate being spurned.
Tell me something about yourself that I wouldn't even think to ask.
I suppose you wouldn't be shocked to learn I love animals and nature? I know. Well-trodden territory. Well then, let's see. I whittle in my spare time, and I've something of a sweet tooth. Although everyone's very amused when I say I like honey.
Whittling? What do you make?
Ornaments, utensils, and ducks. I like ducks.
So you turn into a bear and you like honey. A little on the nose.
I like what I like. Once you get to my age, you realize there's little point in denying yourself, so long as others aren't affected.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank me by returning the favor, why don't you? Come on. I'm sure you've something better than carving wooden ducks.
I live in mortal fear of krakens, though I've never actually seen one.
Well, they are fierce creatures from what I understand. But as long as you avoid the high seas, I think you can consider yourself safe.
That's enough for now.
Anytime.
What happened before, when the Shadow Curse was unleashed?
Druids and Harpers joined together to put a stop to Ketheric Thorm. We marched on Moonrise, and after much fighting, we prevailed. Even in defeat, though, Ketheric turned to Shah. Not long after we sealed him away in his tomb, the Shadow Curse took hold. No one had seen the likes of it before. No one knew how to react. Then it started to claim all those within its reach. Those who had survived the battles now fell to the shadows, became part of the shadows. And worst of all, I lost contact with Thaniel. I wanted to try and find him, but we couldn't stay. We would have all succumbed. When the Archdruid of the Grove, my predecessor, was seized by the curse, I had to lead the survivors to safety. That was my first day as Archdruid. An inauspicious beginning.
Inauspicious? Sounds like you did what you had to, and saved lives.
You are right, but I must not lose focus until everything has been put right. I've wasted too much time already. Years in which nature has suffered. Last light in. We rallied here once, years ago, before the assault on Moonrise Towers.
It ain't pretty, but it can take...
The Archdruid at the time spoke to us all, inspiring our courage. He was a fine leader. Once, you could hear nature's symphony in this place. Now, it is quiet. Quiet and dead.
I can make some animal noises if it will make you feel more at home.
You bleed well enough as it is.
She was no fun. All I wanted was to play! It's coming. Someone new. Boo! I scared you! I saw it! Nobody beats me at hide and seek.
That's him. Like an echo of Thaniel, remolded by the curse. We need him if we're to put a stop to all of this.
Will you play with me?
I know who you really are, and where you really belong. You need to reunite with Thaniel.
Spoil sport. I'm not going back. I like it here. I've made a family for myself. I get to play all the time.
Like it or not, you don't belong here.
Yes, I do. You can't make me do anything. I don't want to play with you anymore.
He's fled. We need to track him down. Wherever the curse is the strongest, that's where he'll go. That's where he'll feel safe.
Make my own fun if I have to. And my own friends. Want to play? Let me show you my favorite toy. On I go. Why couldn't you just leave me alone? Why can't I just stay here playing? I had everything I've ever wanted, right here! And you've ruined it. I'm not leaving. You can't make me.
Be gentle. He's much more than a child. But he doesn't truly know that.
You don't have to leave. All you have to do is lend Thaniel your strength.
He's nothing to me. He left me here all this time. I had to do everything for myself. Even when it was scary, even when I was alone. I didn't give up.
Nobody's to blame here. The curse tore you two apart. Now you can be reunited.
But would he even want me back? I've changed. A lot.
Of course he will. You're bound to each other. Always.
So I wouldn't have to be alone anymore. He'd stay with me. Play with me. I'd like that. And he would too, I think. All right, I'll do it. I want to do it.
Well done.
Are you crying? You're a bit big to be crying. But I suppose that's okay. Bye. And thank you for playing with me.
It's done, at last. Soon the land will be unshrouded. We should return to Thaniel when we can.
A 100 years of sickness almost ended. I feel every root that riddles the earth beginning to unfold. But there is one anchor, still holding the shadows in place. The soul that brought it into being, for the land to heal. Ketheric Thorm must die. Ketheric's soul still nourishes the shadows. Destroy him, so the land may heal. So that I may heal.
North Rythwin, East Rythwin Tollhouse, South Moonrise Towers, West the Waning Moon.
We're close. I can feel it. The Absolute. Its power is strong here.
That's far enough.
His thoughts invade your own, probing for purchase. Your parasite purrs in recognition.
Ah, one blessed like myself. What news, true soul?
Little from the field. What news inside?
General Ketheric's advisor went off on a field trip. Zarel's in charge till he gets back.
You'll find Zarel in the audience chamber, true soul. She'll be wanting to hear from you.
Let's hope this Zrel likes what we have to say.
It's risky to enter Moonrise with an unwelcome companion. You can pass as a true soul, but they cannot. Be sure to keep them close, so you can speak on their behalf if the cultists ask too many questions. Steel yourself and venture forth.
There can be no doubt. This is the place. This is where we'll discover the secret of the Absolute.
Moonrise Towers. Many druids and harpers died to take this place once. Only for Ketheric Thorm to rule it once again.
These lands may not be under the thrall of Lady Shah for much longer. No matter. She wishes for Ketheric Thorm to be punished. Her darkness was a blessing offered before he betrayed her. She can redirect her powers elsewhere once he is cast down.
So this is the abode of our dear Absolute. It's about as cheerful as expected.
Another true soul. The disciple will want to see you through the main doors.
You'll finally answer. Eventually. Bunch of the others were rounded up in the main hall a while ago. They ain't come back. Heard a rumor some do-gooder stopped a horde of absolutists from getting their hands on a load of druids in some grove. Whoever it was, better pray the general doesn't smoke 'em out. Be a bloodbath, so it would.
I'm not worthy. I never learned the words.
Yes.
Wouldn't head into the main hall if I were you. Zarel and Ketheric are working on some poor worm.
One soul. Of many thoughts. One mind.
The Absolute herself called us here. They cannot stop us from seeing Zarel now.
Back of the line. I'll be the first of us to swear to the General.
Not all of us survived the shadows to stand here. My wife, my sons, they were unworthy.
You're one of her blessed, aren't you? To hear her voice, I cannot imagine. To stand this close to her.
Ah, a new face come to bask in the light of the Absolute. How can I be of service, true soul?
New face? We've met before, at the Goblin Camp.
Of course. Just before some godless lunatic purged the place of every innocent soul. A pity neither of us saw what happened.
Careful, that sounds like an accusation.
The guilty ear hears blame in every breath. But you're among friends here, true soul. Look around. All manner of beasties united against the enemies of the Absolute. Quite a god to bring them all together, and quite a fool who draw their ire. Hmm?
You almost sound concerned for my safety.
More concerned that your business might be bad for my business. So don't go kicking the hive while there's still some honey to be had.
That bugbear keeps looking over. I'll feed him his own loincloth.
These are our allies.
I will not be slandered! General, you saw my reports. You know it's not my fault.
The facts suggest otherwise. You were ordered to retrieve the artifact. You failed to do so.
If I had been given drow warriors instead of goblin trash!
Oi! What?
You scrag!
Enough!
A blast of mental energy washes over you, filling the room. Your tadpole squirms, urging you to obey.
Let me make sure I understand this. You're claiming that General Thorm gave you the wrong soldiers?
Yes. No!
You blame the Absolute's Chosen for your failure?
Of course it is not the General's fault.
Whose then?
Your mind extends outward and grasps at nothing. In Ketheric's place, you feel an absence. No psionic power. No tadpole at all.
The goblins! They failed me. They failed us all.
You lying little!
And what would you do to those that have failed you?
They are put to death, obviously.
True. Ultimate failure must earn ultimate punishment. Night Warden Minthara, your crime is incompetence, and your sentence is death.
No!
Make her passing slow, Disciple Zorel. Be creative.
Don't kill her. She's a loyal servant of the Absolute.
A new true soul come to share their wisdom? And what do you have to contribute?
What will you do with her?
She will die, eventually. Take her below.
No! Please! Mercy! Please!
Bye-bye, princess.
Kill the goblins, too.
What? No!
You creaking old bag of shit!
I'm so sorry, my lord. She's an unbeliever outside my control.
Try again. Dispose of the rest as you see fit. Or better yet, put that true soul to use. You have far more important matters to attend to. Or have you forgotten?
Of course not, my lord. Thank you. You heard the General. The goblins are yours. Deal with them however you wish.
What am I meant to do with them exactly?
They are yours. You can release them, kill them, or feed them to each other for all I care. Just deal with them. Here in the seat of the Absolute's power, your authority over them is complete. They will obey any command. Report to me upstairs when you're done.
Please! You gotta help me! For old time's sake!
Guards, release them.
Oh, praise the Absolute! And praise her true soul!
The seat of the Absolute's power, occupied by a general that cannot be killed. But his followers are flesh and blood. We must learn what fuels his power.
From this seat, Ketheric defied gods and raised an army for the Absolute. It is not particularly comfortable.
Not sure it suits you. But that's probably a good thing.
Hush! Meat sounds above. Here.
For a moment, you do hear it. Flesh sliding on stone, like a living being extending through the walls.
Something in the walls? What is it?
Pig! In walls above! Maybe whole tower. Loudest near kitchen. But Mig banned. Not allowed to pet nose. You find meat? You share.
Don't mind Mig and her meat sounds. It's just her brain slopping around in her skull.
These are the stalking grounds of Steelclaw, furless one. Tread lightly. Fortunately for you, the slithering vermin I hunt has my attention. For now.
Sorry, your name is Steelclaw?
It is a name I earned through bloodshed and death. Unfortunately, the more ignorant here refuse to use it. Fluffers, they call me. Idiots.
Slithering vermin? They're called tadpoles.
Their name matters not, merely their demise. I braved lapping waters and leaking ships to find this prey. I butchered many, and will butcher many more. But this one I toy with. I slice, I tear, and when the time is right, I will bite its head off and bathe in its innards!
You know that tadpole is dead, right?
Lies, it merely pretends. But I'm a patient hunter. I will wait for it to stir, and then I will strike. Now I must return to my prey. It has been too long since it felt the bite of fear.
Araj O'Blodra, trader in blood and the sanguineous arts. It is a pleasure to stand before a true soul, and your pale companion. I'd like to offer my services, if you're willing.
What does a trader in blood do exactly?
Research, naturally. A little experimentation, perhaps. I have an innate curiosity for all things sanguine.
What kind of potion is this exactly?
No idea, but it will be unique to you. Your blood essence and the Absolute's blessing intertwined. We can learn exactly what that means together,
No, I'm not interested.
I'm here, should you change your mind. Although perhaps there's one more thing we could discuss. Your friend, He's a vampire, no? Or one of their spawn, at least.
Oh, don't worry. We're all friends under the Absolute. I won't bite.
Oh, I'd prefer if you did. I assume he belongs to you?
Excuse me? He's his own person.
I'm sure he really believes that. How utterly adorable. Do you have a name, Spawn?
Astarion, but hold on.
Good. Now, Astarion. I've dreamt of being bitten by a vampire since I was a young girl.
I'm sorry, you want to be bitten?
To feel your life's blood slipping away. To dance on the edge between life and death. Yes, I want it. I'll even compensate you. A potion of legendary power that forever increases the strength of the one who consumes it. It's not for sale, but it's yours if you bite me.
I will have to decline.
Excuse me? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you're squandering it.
I gave you my answer.
Can't you talk some sense into your obstinate charge?
He said no. There's nothing more to discuss.
How very disappointing.
Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above.
A moment, true soul. You use a spoon to stir the soup, Barnabas. Forget the axe, my darling. Now, how can I help you?
Barnabas?
I've shown Barnabas a kinder way. A kinder name is only fitting. That is the gift the Absolute gave me when I stood before her. To rewrite the lives of her faithful. Make them believe there's something better.
I thought the Absolute accepted us all as we are.
She gathers many threads for her design, but it is still her design. And Barnabas has found his place in it. Observe. Barnabas, sweetie, come show what a good boy you are. What would you like him to do?
You decide.
The prayer, I think. Barnabas struggles with civilized speech, but he's been practicing.
You feel her will surge outwards and envelop the creature, inexorable as the tide.
Soul.
No, Barnabas! We talked about this.
Like a rope drawn taut beneath the blade, the connection simply snaps.
No! Barnabas, darling. No!
There's a parasite in that corpse.
All trace of restraint is gone. Barnabas has tasted blood, and wants more. As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Easy. I freed you. I'm a friend.
General Thorm's prayers and preparations must not be disturbed. The rooftop is off limits to everyone.
Even you, Disciples Rel?
Everyone. Keep watch and ensure that nobody passes. Excellent timing, true soul. The goblins. Tell me how they suffered. No, better yet, show me.
Her mind enters yours abruptly, flickering across your memories in a blaze of excitement. She sees the goblins walking free, and a burning rage fans across your mind like wildfire.
Explain yourself.
They won't get far. Let the curse take them, and save us the job of cleaning up their innards.
Very pragmatic, but very boring. Let's see if there's anything interesting in this brain of yours.
She parts the folds of your mind again, touching your wants and hopes, tasting them. Every emotion soaks into her mind's palate. But there is purpose to her exploration. She is searching for proof of your faith.
You took pity on one of Shah's sorry little followers. Or was it genuine affection? Let's take a closer look. With the Absolute, your fantasies can become more real than flesh. The pleasures of the mind can surpass those of the body. I have already been blessed to stand in her presence. It was bliss. She gave me everything I wanted.
Everything? What exactly do you want?
To take without asking, to feel without doubting, and to kill without consequence. In a word, freedom.
Freedom? Your only purpose is to serve Ketheric in the Absolute.
I choose to serve, and I'm glad to. Your words are dangerously close to heresy, true soul.
My words were a test of your faith. I too am glad to serve.
As you should be. And you have an opportunity to impress General Thorm. I have a mission for you. There is a relic that General Thorm requires. He sent his most trusted advisor, disciple Balthazar, to retrieve it. The relic is beneath the Thorm family mausoleum. That is where you will find Balthazar. But we have lost contact with him. Go there. Aid Balthazar if you can, and bring the relic home.
What if Balthazar's dead?
Death would not silence Balthazar for long. But dead or alive, he is lost. Whatever has become of him, it is the relic that matters.
What exactly was this relic he was sent to retrieve?
It is something that General Thorm desires, and that he has ordered us to retrieve. That is all you need to know.
She's suddenly nervous, on edge. Talking about the relic makes her anxious.
Talking of this relic makes you anxious. Why is that?
I am in awe of the power the relic must hold to be of such importance. General Thorm will not leave Moonrise without it.
You said you lost contact. What do you mean?
And I accompanied him. It was destroyed shortly after he left Moonrise. Hardly a surprise. We're protected here, but outside the shadows are hungry.
Understood. I'm ready to head out.
The shadows around the mausoleum are deep and hungry. You'll need a moon lantern to survive them. Take one from Balthazar's chambers. But don't pry. The last person who snooped into his secrets lost their head. I believe he uses it as a chamber pot.
were adored, Minthara. Brought up from the darkness and into the Absolute's light.
She cherished you, but it wasn't enough. You were distracted by your own desires.
Bloodlust, murder, chaos.
And most damning of all, an inability to follow orders.
I obeyed to the best of my ability!
And isn't that depressing?
You are nothing.
Minthara's mind connects with yours. Not strong as you remember, but fractured, disintegrating.
Come to observe, true soul. She is a lesson. None can rise so high that they cannot fall again.
What are you doing to her?
We are erasing her.
I've been instructed to handle this prisoner myself.
No, this is our duty.
Peace, sister. Let us observe the true soul's methods. Perhaps we can learn from them. Her mind is yours. Break it.
Immediately, your mind is swept into a greater vortex. A psionic storm with Minthara at its center.
Cannot hide. Submit.
Her torturers are not dominating her. They are destroying her mental defenses and exposing her to something else. The Absolute. Navigating the storm, you reach the nexus of her mind. It is a wound, bleeding raw emotion and shattered memories. But she senses your arrival.
So it is you who will end me. Make it swift, then. Anything to silence that thing. That voice.
I have a plan. Fake obedience, and the guards will leave without raising the alarm.
I would prefer to make these bastards bleed. But I trust that you speak from caution rather than cowardice. I will put my faith in you and pretend to be their slave.
Her mind fills with warmth, and she gently releases you.
Is it done? I did not feel her mind break.
Look at her. The true soul Minthara you knew is gone.
She does look a little vacant, sister.
No more anger. No more doubt. She is perfect. We ought to return to our posts, sister. There'll be plenty more prisoners to practice on.
An ill thing to let an enemy show their back and live.
Let it go. You can plot your revenge once we're free.
Prudent. Let us go, then. I will be your mute and faithful slave. For now.
Minthara is supposed to be in a cell. You have some explaining to do.
I think she serves rather well as my personal servant, don't you?
The guard is happy to let you pass. Minthara is rather less happy about your choice of words.
I would have preferred to bleed them.
Halt!
Deal with them, or I will.
We heard she'd been escorted from her cell. Not that she could leave the tower.
The General ordered that she be repurposed, not freed.
She's completely loyal to me. I'll keep her in line.
Creatures like her don't understand the concept of loyalty. Keep her on a tight leash.
I last left Moonrise as a commander in the Absolute's army, obeying the voice of a god. I thought I had found a home and a purpose. Now I leave as an exile. But you risked your life to rescue me. For that, I am grateful.
The artifact connects with her, pulling your minds together and showing her all that you have seen. The prism, your dream visitor, the protection that keeps you from obeying the Absolute and becoming a Lithid. She knows it all in a moment. Her mind reels, but is no longer clouded. She accepts the truth. She has no choice.
There is much we must discuss. Do you have a safe place to camp nearby?
Here, let me mark it on your map.
Goodbye for now. I will see you soon.
F. Or is it an E? Is it even a letter? What damn language is this?
Want me to take a look?
What are you doing? Wait, I'm sorry. You caught me by surprise, that's all. I've been tracing the scars on my back with my fingers, trying to read them by touch. But I can't. They may as well be written in Rashimi.
Let me have a look.
This isn't your problem, you know.
I know. Now shut up and turn around.
Fine.
The pattern swirls before you, runes hacked crudely into his flesh. You can't read it, but you recognize the letters. Infernal, the language of the hells.
And? What does it say?
It's written in Infernal. I can't read it.
Infernal? Are you sure? Can you show me? What in the hells? What did he do to me?
What does it say?
I have absolutely no idea. But it's no poem. 2 centuries carrying this. And I can finally see it.
You really have no idea what this is?
None at all. Cazador was only figuratively hellish. There were never any devils hanging about the crypt. Whatever he's left carved in my flesh, it's a mystery to me. Thank you, by the way. This is... well, it's something.
We'll figure it out, I promise.
Will we? How... sweet.
It does not compare with the comforts of home, but your camp is almost palatial in comparison to my previous accommodation. Thank you for allowing me to come here, and for bringing me back to myself. Each memory that returns to me is more disturbing than the last. The things that I did in the name of the Absolute. The things that were done to me. They broke my mind.
You're strong. You'll recover.
Strength will not save us from an enemy that can dominate our will. While our tadpoles live, and the cult have the means to control them, we will never be safe. We must eradicate them, Starting with General Thorm. I mean Ketheric. My deference to him is a habit that will die hard, I fear.
Any suggestions on how we kill an invulnerable man?
All that live can die. I can help you plot Ketheric's demise, but I need something from you first. Swear that you will keep me close. Until the Absolute is dead, at least.
You're a victim of the cult. Of course I'll protect you.
The Prism will protect me. You will fight alongside me and help me to get my vengeance. I knew you were different to other true souls when we met, but I could see nothing clearly. Now, thanks to the Prism, the Absolute does not cloud my thoughts at all. I see that together, we can have our vengeance on those who infected us. Rest well, and keep your wits about you. Tomorrow, we go to war with the cult of the Absolute.
Tell me what you know about Ketheric's power first.
General Thorm would have the world believe that his invulnerability is a gift from the Absolute. That is a lie, intended to impress those who flock to the cult's cause, and to strike fear in the minds of those who stand against the Absolute. I believe Thorm draws his power not from a divine source, but an arcane one. I suspect it is the very relic that Balthazar has been sent to retrieve. We must find the necromancer and claim what he seeks, or destroy it. Now, rest. We will need our strength for what lies ahead.
Sleep well. We will venture forth together come morning.
I would gladly join you in the fight. Leave one of your other allies here, and I shall.
In my years as the Blade, I've witnessed countless cruelties, faced unimaginable evil. But Thorm, he is made of pure hate. The Sword Coast will rejoice when the bastard's fallen. My father is somewhere in this tower. I won't leave him in Thorm's hands. And lest we forget, we've a devil to rescue. 2 missions, 1 destination.
Any idea where we'll find Duke Ravengard, now that we've reached Moonrise?
Not in a mere prison cell, certainly. My guess, Thorm will have confined him in the bowels of the tower. The deeper we dig, the closer we get.
Minthara is something of a closed book, but I suspect a heart of gold lurks beneath that stern countenance. Once she gets to know me, I'm sure she'll open up. She's just waiting for someone ready to listen.
It doesn't seem long ago that Minthara would have sought to kill us, and now we've welcomed her along. We're nothing if not magnanimous.
What do you make of Ketheric Thorm, now we've seen him in the flesh?
He's trouble. Worse, he's a traitor. Whatever loyalty he had towards Lady Shah is long gone. It would please her greatly to see him meet his long overdue end, I'll wager.
I want to be clear. Letting Minthara tag along with us was your idea, so if you wake up with a dagger to your throat, that's on you.
Better a dagger at my throat than fangs, Astarion.
Excuse me? I would never. But fine. Take her if you wish. Just know I'll be resting with one eye open.
The Drow is unpredictable, uncompromising. I respect her almost as much as I distrust her.